Greetings world. We are anonymous.
This young woman, we met at a beauty parlor, and she was getting ready for her engagement party, and she was 13 years old. And we went back to her house, and she sort of huddled herself into a corner with this pink robe around her. And she was so timid, and I just kept thinking to myself, she's 13 years old, and she's about to get married. And it's a very common practice right now with Syrian refugees, unfortunately. Gone to this household to meet another girl who was 15 and 8 months pregnant. And when we walked in the house, her uncle came over and said, please, you have to meet my daughter. And he had married his daughter off at 14 to a 34-year-old man who, from the week they married, he started beating her so aggressively. The second time she fled, she was covered in blood. And her father said, at that point, he finally realized, like, what have I done to my 14-year-old daughter?
This celebration is a mass wedding organized by Hamas. With more than 450 happy couples-to-be, the Islamic movement's event has become a popular attraction among the people. Each couple is given a cash payment of approximately $500 US, which goes a long way in Gaza. While the event was paid for, organized, and attended by some of Hamas's top political leaders, the couples were not just Hamas members, but from various factions. The only flags waving on stage were Palestinian and not party ones. Hamas's popularity has waned since it came into power in 2006. While the political and social movement comes under regular criticism for many of its governing policies in Gaza, it's social events like this and charitable works that help retain Hamas's popularity with many disadvantaged Palestinians, from whom the group draws its traditional base of support.
فأما إجراء العقد فهذا أمر يعني ليس له سن معينة في إجراء العقد. يعقد على حتى يمكن أن يعقد على فتاة عمرها سنة زمان، مش 9 سنين ولا 7 سنين ولا 8 سنين. هذا مجرد عقد إيجاب وقبول بين، بس الولي يكون هنا هو الأب لأنه ولي مجبر فتصير زوجته. لكن هل الفتاة أو البنت محل للدخول أم لا؟ طبعا وكم سن الدخول المناسب؟ هذا يختلف باختلاف البيئات وباختلاف الأعراف عند الناس. ممكن في اليمن كانوا يزوجوا من 9 و10 و11 و8 و13. ولنا في رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم قدوة حسنة حيث عقد على زوجته عائشة وكان سنها 6 سنوات وبنى عليها، يعني دخل عليها صلى الله عليه وسلم 9 سنوات.
يقول 6 سنوات.
لا، عقد عليها وهي 6.
تزوجها
يعني العقد في 6 والبناء اللي هو الدخول في 9 سنوات. ولما في رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم
نعم.
Nijud Ali is every inch a child, and yet at just 10, she has already been married and divorced. The very portrait of innocence, a shy smile, a playful nature. It makes her story all the more moving as she calmly narrates it.
When I got married, I was afraid. I didn't want to leave home. I wanted to stay with my brothers and sisters and my mom and dad.
But it was her parents who married off Nijud in February to a man more than 3 times her age.
I didn't want to sleep with him, but he forced me to. He hit me and insulted me.
Must have been torture.
At the time, she was living with her husband and his family. He declined to be interviewed for this story. But Nijud says she was beaten and raped.
And now to a story all new at 6. A mother is arrested accused of burning her teenage daughter.
Tonight, police are saying the teen was abused because she didn't want to go through with an arranged marriage.
That's right. Team 6 reporter Miriam Masihi is live in Hollywood with the story tonight. Miriam.
Adam, Jackie, school administrators here at South Broward High were the ones who called police after a student told them what this girl was going through. Since then, that mother has been arrested on charges of child abuse. 35-year-old Sahar Thabit is accused of allegedly committing a sickening crime inside her Hollywood home. Police say in January, Thabit used a stove to heat up a knife and burn her 17-year-old daughter 3 times in her arms. We caught up with the girl's grandmother and grandfather at that home today.
I swear to God, I don't see anything.
According to the police report, the incident happened because the girl's parents were upset because she didn't want to marry her cousin in an arranged marriage situation. She wanted to marry a boy she met online who lives in Yemen.
During sex, I was crying and begging him to stop, but he didn't listen. Then he put his hand on my mouth like this. I couldn't breathe, and I was crying.
Long-held cultural traditions die hard. If the current trend continues, more than 100 million more young girls will be married over the next decade.
They were decorating my hands with nugs, but I didn't know they were going to marry me off. Then my mother came in and said, "Come on, my daughter." They were dressing me up and I was asking, "Where are you taking me?" They just said, "Come, come," and then they performed the wedding.
That somehow the man is raising this child as his wife.
A good wife should be respectful of the groom's family because she's now going to live with them. We don't call a woman beautiful by her looks, but by how nicely she takes care of her house and her husband.
He was trying to have sex with me, and I was crying, and I kept struggling to free myself from him. He mocked me, saying, "Where are you going to go?" Then he used me.
I was a woman exchanged for someone else's wrongdoing. My father-in-law and my husband, they were all with the Taliban. My father-in-law took me out of the house to a mountain. I thought they would kill me or behead me. I did not think he would cut my nose and my ears. The blood came over my eyes. I didn't know where the blood was coming from.
My friends were not getting married, and it was only me, so I didn't like that. So when I saw my parents preparing the feast, I knew they were definitely going to give me to a husband. So I escaped. I was about 14. The person who gave me a ride, he raped me while we were on our way here. So I was devastated. I regret coming here, and I wish I had stayed with my family because the person who raped me didn't use a condom. And he introduced me to a broker who got me this job as a prostitute. After 15 days, I found out I was pregnant. I started getting sick. I struggled as much as I could and worked as a prostitute until I was 9 months pregnant.
In some cultures, there's this myth that by marrying young virgins, AIDS will be cured. Many times they start having sex immediately because they have no control over the situation. The husband is the one who rules. Older men who have sex with younger girls tend to have sex more frequently.
I don't know how children are made, but they get pregnant and they deliver a baby. They carry it inside their stomach. Then they deliver and it comes out a baby.
I didn't want to get pregnant because I was very small. I wanted to wait until I am old enough.
Is she worried that she won't make it through the birth?
Sometimes I think I will die.
Was she hopeful for any help, or is she worried about her future?
እስካሁን የሚረዳሽ አግኝተሽ ታውቂያለሽ ወይ? ወደፊትስ የሚረዳኝ አገኛለሁ ብለሽ ታስቢያለሽ ወይ?
I have never got help from anywhere until now. I don't know anyone who will help me.
ታነሽ በቃ ጨርሰናል። እሺ እሺ
I am the innocent. I am born into a place that immediately claims ownership of me. It sees my helplessness and meets my physical needs. But in return, it holds over me the requirement of unconditional surrender. Of my mind, my heart, my dreams, my dignity, my rights, my life. Ultimately, I am an object to be traded, a will to be broken, a mind and heart to be ignored, a property to be owned. I am the innocent. If there be a God filled with goodness and worthy of worship, certainly he would not stand in the shadows as my body breaks under the feet of those who claim him. Certainly he would hear my cries and lift my weary arms and rush me off to safety in his embrace. But there is no safety, only silence. And the bright light I so desperately wish to shine upon the world will never be more than an ember, suffocating from the lack of air to breathe, surrendering to darkness, forgotten. If you would only look, you would see me. You would abandon your hate, your small-minded, petty traditions, and the edicts of obsolete men, and you would see me. You would protect and celebrate my life as you do your own, and you would see me. I am the moment which defines you, the child that continues you, the tragedy that condemns you. I am the innocent, and my life belongs to me.